Does it come with a mini bike? Go around the other side. Seats are nice. Smell a little like mice. That's not too good. Get it on the truck. Uh-oh.
Gotta go around the body. I'll come stand on it. Oh, stuck here.
And as an added bonus, you get this contraption. Funky looking ride that thing is, huh? Little band brake on the back, going up to a pedal. Bicycle handlebars. Get in my belly. Alright, we are back at home base. The only thing I did was I dropped the tailgate, which is kind of crunchy. Fortunately, a lot of the metal work that needs to be done, this thing is everything's pretty flat. I'll dig all that trash out of there. This quarter is probably the worst, and then there's like a belly pan on the back side of that bumper. That is really punky. But that's the worst of it right there. I would think they sell a patch panel for that, because it should be the same as the van. And then this rocker down the side of it. But that's a long straight piece too. So I am not that concerned dealing with that. We gotta get a light underneath it. We'll take a peek underneath. Smells of rotten gas, that's for sure. The door's shut nice. It opened nice. This is called a springtime special, I think is what the name of it was, in 1965. Sales were not doing that good, and they decided, some marketing, decided to put like a fancy steering wheel on it. They did the chrome bumpers, they did the chrome stripe down the side of it. It went from 13-inch wheels to 14-inch wheels, and I believe it should have, instead of the Falcon like 85 horsepower 6-cylinder, I believe it went to the truck engine, which I think is like 130. I gotta look it up, I'm not sure. How many miles are on it? What's that first digit? 44904. So either 44,000, 45,000, or 145, I would think. The seats actually don't look too bad. I think all original. I'm gonna dig a bunch of that garbage out of there. Maybe we'll get to the engine bay. We can flip that open. We'll take a peek inside there. There's not too much room for mice to hide, which is good. It's not much interior. There's 2 seats as far as doing damage, cloth-wise. A cool little rig. Yeah, they were based on the Falcon platform. I think in, I want to say 59 it started. I'm not sure of these numbers. I'll be getting corrected like crazy. They're a light truck too. It's like 2,500 pounds they weigh. It was the cheapest domestic pickup truck sold at the time. Hence probably that's where the name came from, Econoline. And I think the same with the vans. I'm not sure, but I know as far as the trucks they were. And this special package with all the extras was like $250 more, and they just included it in the trucks to try to help move them along. 3-speed on the column. Cool. Let me get a bunch of garbage out of it, and we'll get to the engine bay. Now we can see inside. Looks pretty decent. Got a bunch of mouse damage. I don't know if this light's gonna help or hurt us. Let's go see. You can see how the nesting is up inside there. And after the Mustang fiasco, I've been chasing VIN numbers, and it is located, one of them is located on a support bracket. I'm not going to get close so you can see the numbers. That bracket there goes across on an angle. Looks legit. The welding looks sloppy, so it has me a little nervous. I'm going to pull. There's another location. It's on the back of the doghouse where the engine cover is, and it's supposed to be right where the doghouse meets the cover. You got to pull the cover up to go find it. I'm going to double check on that. But just looking at the truck in general, all the welds. I'll show you this side, because that other side looks the same way. See how the welds are kind of crappy. That. I don't think any of that's ever been replaced. You can even see, like, the lip is just welded to the wheel well. But I don't think any of this has been replaced. And I did decipher the number, and it does come up to that spring special I talked about. Unfortunately, it has a 170 engine in it, not the, hold on a second, not the, so the axle code, that last axle code, 031, because it has a 1 after it, that it designates that special package. I got a special package. But the engine is a 170, so it's only 85 horsepower. So that kind of sucks, but let's go open her up. Oof. Like mice have had a party in there. Let's go see what does or doesn't move. See if that's. Let me hit the gas pedal. Seems like it's free. Let's see if we got antifreeze in it. We have nothing in it. I don't mind it leaked out. I'm just concerned about water. And I guess so what makes it a 170 is the intake manifold is part of the cylinder head. It's not a separate piece. And then I guess the truck engine was more, it's a truck engine, not a car engine. This is the same as what would be in a Falcon. Well, this doghouse needs to come out of here. But I say we probably throw a battery in it, we check fluids, and we start seeing if it gets going. Well, there is one of the past residents. you think the glove box has to offer? I still have to go back at the headliner. He's got a battery, I think he said, for it, and probably something else, I'm not sure. There's mouse nest up inside there. Where the material went from the... This might be scary. No, it's clean. Wiring all looks pretty stock. It does have the key in it. I'm gonna go over the other side and go poke at that side and we'll see what we got. See what this side has to offer. More crap up there. Ew. It's that gooey looking stuff. That's just water, or is that melted? It's like prop rod for something. Probably tailgate, maybe. Like more like tailgate connectors. Where is the oil dipstick? See it? I don't see it yet. Winnie is looking right at it and you're not telling me. Oil pressure switch, I do not see a wire on it. What's that? I don't see a wire on the oil pressure switch. But I also don't see the wire. What's that cobbled together down there? Leave it alone for now. Where's that wire go? Has some cable. Looks like it's got a broken exhaust stud on the manifold, so it's gonna be loud when she goes. What's that? Sandpaper. Somebody was cleaning points. And last time. I think it's been off the road 15 years. I still don't see the dipstick. Does it pop through the... No, does it pop through the housing? Gotta be over here somewhere. There it is. I'm gonna wipe that off, put her back in, make sure she's got some Earl. And we'll get a battery and give her a little bump, see if she'll go over. Alright, let's see what we got. I think somebody went through tune-up, so it's got new wires and stuff on it. There was a box of plugs. Oil is full. Actually doesn't, it's a little over full. She smells like gas. Doesn't feel too bad. Good enough to run it on. See any moisture inside it. Let's get ourselves a jumper pack and hook it to the battery terminals. There's no battery there. And we'll give her a bump at the key. See if he's free. I think that's a critter. Or now. Where the chipmunks hang out. Jumper pack's in. You see? Why does it look so dark? Let's go. There it goes. Directionals work. Alternator lights, no oil light. It probably is bypass. Let's see if it. Nah, that's no good. That's the solenoid clicking. I ain't gonna try turning that smoke on my jumper pack. Just a wire. See if we could go turn that fan. You guys are precariously balanced up there. It turns. That's a good sign. Let's double check. Trying to watch the crank, make sure the belt's just not slipping around it. Oh, it's turning. So, maybe that starter relay, we could probably try jumping it. We just keep bouncing off that key a few times. See if we get it to go. Let's go, where's the starter? Let's go take a peek. The wire going around. Looks like not too bad. We could jump right to it if we have to. Whoops. Scare you? Those Ford relays have set contacts in them. And sometimes they have to clean themselves. You know, there's just no power going across. We could try putting the jumper pack right on the starter, maybe on the hot side, and we'll see if it gets anything. There's not much room in here, so I got to kind of shaky handheld you. Let's go see if that passing that does anything for us. That is a starter that does not want to play. That starter's not going. Looks like we are going to have to. I don't know if we want to wrap on it a little bit or. Let the fun begin. Yeah, let's give her. I put the jumper pack right to the top of the starter. Oh, there it goes. Alright. Let's go pull a plug wire and a screwdriver, see if we get spark. Can you see? Can you see where my hand is? Kinda. Let's go pull one in the middle off. Turn my light off. Give it a shot. I don't see anything. That is a no. And I think we can kind of guess why. Try one more time, hold on. Nope. We're going in. We're going into the points. So you can see. Give that. Watch, there's no rotor in it. I can't see down that far whether they're clean or not. Let's give it a crank. Oops. Well, there goes the rotor. Let's go give it a bump and just see if these points are opening. Points are sparking. Wait a minute, we gotta have spark then. Okay, one out the other, right? Condenser might be bad. Seems like it's sparking kind of bright, showing us kind of indication. Made nickel. Double check one more time. That means power has to be going to the distributor and to the coil, because that's where the distributor gets it's going through the coil to the distributor. Let's go grab a screwdriver. We'll try it again. Let's try arcing it right off where the plug would be. It's a far stretch. I might blow the horn. Come on, key. The key's finicky too. Oh, nothing. Here's a bad coil. Oh, I saw something. Super weak though. Whoop, I told you. Super weak though. Yeah, that might be an address. That might have been something that somebody was trying to deal with before. It might have been an issue last time around. It's also what's weird too is why would they take? You know, maybe this. I'm trying to figure out what's. Get rid of. I don't know why they took that wire. That wire looks like it should go to the oil pressure switch. Because it's the only other bare wire I see kind of hanging around. Other than that one. Yeah. Let's go try one more time taking that wire off of there. I wonder if that was just a screw up on somebody's part. I'm going through. Lights me up. There we go. Yeah. So whoever took that wire and decided to tie that to the... You can't take your oil pressure switch and hook it to your coil. It doesn't work. Good. Let's get some gas. Give her a shot. Kind of clamped to the dashboard. There's the horn to the float bowl. Let's see if we can backfill. I don't think so. Check on real slow. Try to backfill the float bowl. That would just dump some right down the carb. Takes it slow. Taking it slow. It's all got to come apart and get cleaned anyway. I'm not worried about pushing bad gas through. And let's give her a little down there, shall we? That sounds pretty good. Until it ran out. Let's give her a little more. All right. I am going to first turn the key off. I'm going to hook that jumper wire back up to the oil pressure switch and see if we get an oil light that comes on and turns back off. The only other concern I have is whether it has oil pressure. And then we're going to throw some antifreeze in it and make sure it holds. I just want to make sure there's no cracks in the block if it had water sitting in it. I just don't know the history behind it. I got jumper wire. Let's go and get that. In there. Let's get the other end clipped on. Turn the key on. Let me get you reset. Hold on. Shaky ride. Let's see if we can get an oil light. We do not get an oil light. I'm gonna take a test light. I'm gonna take a test light down there and see if we have power. There it goes. Okay. Let's go dump a little bit of gas in it. Let's go back and give her the keys. Like I said, it's finicky. There it goes. I think somebody needs a starter though. Come on. We were so close to just having a question answer. I think we're okay because it looked like it kind of went out. I guess I'm gonna go try wrapping on that starter, see if we can get it to go. See a little bit of abuse will. Just a long stretch again. Yeah, starter's gonna need some love. Do that or carry your hand. Tie a hammer to it on a hinge. Whoops. Alright. You guys didn't get to see it, but the oil light did go out. So I'm happy about that. Comes on, goes off. At least we know we got oil pressure. We know we got a screwed up starter, but we know we got oil pressure. I think I want to try to pull that rear tin. Looks like we could break it right here, leave the front and all its hoses and everything on there. It doesn't look like it's ever been apart, which is a good sign. And we'll, I just want to double check that VIN number. You guys don't need to be dealing with that, but I just want to be sure. I have not paid for it yet. I got to pay him later on this evening. So, for those who are asking, why did you not check it first? That's why. I bolted that seat. Give us a little bit elbow room. There we go. That ought to make life a little easier for filming too. Amazing the seats are as decent shape as they are. It's like a big mechanic's mousetrap. As you can tell, I believe we have it loose. That was a bit of a struggle. See, that back hardware was not the easiest to get to. But we're in. And should make the manifold needs to be addressed. The starter needs to be addressed. We need to see those VIN numbers. So I figure it's probably a good idea to go pull all that away. So I'm gonna go take a putty knife in the back. It's supposed to be underneath where this gooey stuff is, and confirm that it matches the door in the back. Yes, I did a bunch of digging back there, and unfortunately, I do not see any kind of indication of numbers. It's supposed to be up on the tunnel piece here somewhere. I don't see it. I'm going to continue and pull some of the, get a heat gun and pull a lot of that stuff out of the way. See if it's on the side. Again, it's what you look up on the internet, what they tell you where stuff is, and I think it was showing for a 66, not a 65. I don't know if that matters or not. Whether they change locations, who knows. And just so, a little backstory. So for those who don't know, I bought a 66 Mustang a couple weeks ago, and awesome car. You know, it ended up running fine. The VIN number was stamped by hand on the fender, and it was very leery. I live in the state of New Hampshire. We're not a title state. You could actually, if somebody writes you a bill of sale, you could actually register something. But what they do is they run the VIN number, and they make sure that it doesn't come back any kind of funkiness to it. There's also a problem where if someone shows up with a title at some point and says, hey, that's my car, they could also still kind of take it back. So that part of it is a little on the leery side that you want to be cautious of. The Mustang had, again, handmade numbers, and it was done very sloppy. It didn't look like anything that would be done in a factory. And there's another set of numbers that are supposed to be on it. And so those are on the driver's fender. On the passenger's fender, there is, you pull the fender back, it's supposed to be another set of numbers. That car was all stock sheet metal, and it had no numbers whatsoever. So pretend this is the fender. I pulled it back, and right in this area, there was supposed to be another set of numbers that were hidden by the fender. the driver's fender has a little cutout window where you can see it. Pull both fenders back, neither had any factory numbers. Lo and behold, somebody ran the numbers. Back up. So I, at that point, felt like the car was shady. It did not have a title. It came from Massachusetts, but it didn't have a title. I wasn't that concerned about it in the state of New Hampshire. But again, it seemed like somebody altered the numbers and then had a door tag, which did not match the engine that was supposed to be original, and some other stuff did not match. And it had a what's called a buck tag on the fender, and where the other number was on the passenger side. There's a tag that gets attached there. It's kind of like a build tag, tells you what the options and stuff are put in the car. That tag, when you unscrewed it and you flipped it over, was a door tag. It was not a fender tag, a buck tag, totally different style. And it was for 65, not a 66. So I had a lot of red flags on that, and I ended up just returning that car. I paid $4,000 for the car. Great deal. It cleaned up, you know, put 2 weeks worth of work in it. It was a $12,000 car. Unfortunate, I returned it. It ended up, someone ran the numbers and said it was like a factory experimental or factory like mule that they tested pieces on, and the numbers actually came out legit to the car. But again, I did not want to be caught with the car and end up having the car taken away and losing my money at the same time. So I had bailed on that. Hindsight 2020, yeah, I lost a great deal, but you know, sometimes that's how things roll. I don't, and you know, the other side of it is too is you're in possession of stolen property. Not quite sure how that works with cars, but I don't live my life that way. I like to be legit in everything I do. I really don't want to be dealing with some iffy stuff, or if it was my car that was stolen a long time ago, I would not want it to be on my conscience that I did that to somebody else, took someone else's stolen car. Just the way I am. So, full circle, the problem with the Mustang was the numbers, because the numbers didn't match the car, or what I felt didn't match the car. I felt like they were altered. If the numbers came back okay, if you do a VIN, what we have is what's called a VIN verification. The cop comes and he runs the numbers and makes sure there's no issues with it. But my feeling was the numbers that were on that car were not for that car. So the numbers may have came back clean, but they didn't match. And the fact that all the numbers were missing off the car really kind of put me in a cautious mode. So this one on the back, the door seems very original to the door. The other car, I was kind of questioning whether the door matched. This all seems fairly legit. The metal in the back, that brace, the welding's kind of crappy on it, and a little questionable about that. But everywhere I kind of look at this thing, it looks like it was not assembled with the exact care that you would think it would be from the factory. So I'm going to clean up, see if I can find a number anywhere else. If it's not, I'm not that concerned about it. The information that is on the door tag on the driver's side matches everything perfect. It calls the correct engine, it calls the correct hardware, the chrome moldings, all this stuff is original to here. It does show up for 65, so I'm fairly convinced that this is the real deal. And plus, I don't think that it's all that common for these to get stolen. These were, again, the cheapest things that were on the market, not like a Mustang where they had a fairly decent value to them. Rant over. And after giving it what for with a vacuum, it looks a little bit easier to work on, a little less nasty. One thing I'm looking, see the firewall? The back wall. And you see like where it turns green. I think that's all mouse piss did that. That tunnel, you see that hole is right there? That's a hollow frame that goes around. I got some of it out. I'm sure it's still pretty packed. I got to get in there with probably an air gun and blow through, unfortunately. Look at all that mouse piss damage that it literally changed the color of the paint and took the paint right off of it. But fortunately it didn't rot it. But see all the runs coming down? That's all what that is. Nasty, huh? Didn't have all that much interior to use for a stash, though. I would think, you know, just the bottoms of the seats and whatever was on the top of the focus, on top of the cover there. That was up inside there. So I think now we can rip that starter out. And as far as the VIN number, no, I don't see anything else. And that may be just for vans, not for the pickup. They may not have even been able to get back in there to punch it. And who knows what the information that I got. let's get that starter out of there and see if we can fix its woes or get another one. Hopefully we can fix that one. The starter popped out of there. Manifolds are going to need some love too, though. Let's see, that's a slight gap. And then it looks like that little hole right there is probably a leak too. It looks like that might be, I don't know, that might be a pivot for a like a flapper on the inside. Sometimes manifolds have like a flap on the inside of them. I think for when they're cold, do they restrict exhaust? And or part of the choke. The choke is manual on this actually. That wouldn't be that. And then the bottom two studs down here, they're just busted right out. There's an attempt of having the exhaust pipe with closed hangers near where it's supposed to be, but I don't think that's doing all that much. And it's got, looks like a preheat going through the manifold, keep it from freezing. What else we got? Yeah, a little cobbling going on here. Looks like a lot of this stuff rots away and breaks away. I think we should be able to fix all that. As long as you get those other bolts out. Again, that intake manifold is part of the cylinder head, so it doesn't really come off. Well, when it ran, it sounded like it was running good. It sounded like it ran all sick, so, and it didn't blow a ton of smoke out. Not that it ran very long. Radiator, looks like it's peeing out the bottom there a little. That's probably where the fluid went. I don't see any of the core plugs leaking. Well, that's getting ahead of herself. Got the starter on the bench. Let's go play with that and see if we can bring that back to life. Comfortable? In a good spot? Let's see. Get that band off of there. Get that band off of there, then we can get to the get that cover off. I know some starters have a set of contacts in them. I don't know about Ford starters. That it has to throw the Bendix out first, and then it makes contact for the brushes to fire. I just puked out a bunch of crap. Yeah. Slides that like that. There we go. Yeah, there's a contact I was talking about. I believe these come out. I'm going to take an air gun and I'll blow the schmigma out of it first. They look pretty deep. Those contacts don't look too bad. How's the thing spin? Wouldn't exactly say smooth. Blow it out first. And then we'll take the tangs on the preload springs for the brushes. And we'll give them a couple of pops and make sure that these brushes kind of move freely. Get the gasket off without breaking it. Get to that one. That, whatever wire that is. Yeah, there's a problem right there. So whatever this is right here has one thread holding it. It's a ground there. You can see that being an issue, huh? Baked. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fix that or not. I should go price one. What time is it? Yeah, I might have time. Well guys, it's later than I thought. The stores are already closed, unfortunately. So I'll have to go chase that tomorrow. I also want to grab some tires from the local junkyard. See if they got some used 14s we can get it, just to make it so it's a roller. I'd rather get it off the trailer and up on the lift to be a little easier to work on. It's cool. Really like it. Gonna do some shopping tonight, see what's available for sheet metal. I gotta go pay the guy for it. Clean the bed out. It's decent, it's got issues, but not as bad as some of the stuff I've owned. Right there looks like a bunch of, it's like somebody mixed up a gallon of fiberglass resin and just kind of poured it on the floor. So I'm sure that's all punky. But that, again, that area doesn't even really show. Looks like they may have sprayed it with, like, I don't know, bed liner or something at one point. I tried cleaning the center there, right? The red dead center. Seeing if there's any VIN numbers there, because that's the back hump of the tunnel, but I didn't see anything. That might just be van only that they did that. Again, I don't think there was a high theft rate. I don't think there was all that much of a concern back in '65 for these. Yes, probably by 1971 it was supposed to be melted back down and turned into a car. Here it is 56 years later. Really cool rig though. I like it. I like the style of it. I'll blind you with the light. So that's it. We're probably gonna stop this one right here. Try to make the videos a little on the shorter side, maybe a little bit more frequent. And hopefully on the next one we can have it running under its own power is my goal. Oh, we still have everything else to do, but I can see us doing metal work on this and kind of just blowing in the bottom where it needs to be repaired. Alright guys, I'm gonna start yammering on, so at this point I'm gonna stop. I want to thank y'all all for hanging out in the garage with me and doing some treasure hunting, finding some old rusty crap and having fun bringing them back to life. It's definitely a passion of mine, and a few of you guys seem to like it too. So, till the next one, later.